everyone, welcome back, or welcome if you're new. So, do you remember my 10 resolutions video? I mentioned I was going to do WIP Wednesdays, their color and chats. So, here's the first one. We are on Wednesday, I have a WIP, we're gonna chat. What I wanted to do for these was, it'll be every week, it'll be kind of like an adult color and chat. It won't be a color along because I'll just be working on something I am coloring privately. I say privately, but that just means off camera. It's not like I'm hiding in a corner. But I'll still show you the color combinations and techniques so you still learn something. And then also it's kind of just like a chit chat, you know, get to know me, check in, what have I been up to, and then I'm hopeful that you guys will leave questions or prompts in the comments below for what you would like me to answer on the next one. You know, say there's a topic you want me to talk about, like, I don't know. I can't think of one off the top of my head. I'm not scripted. But anyway, if there's like something that comes to mind, you know, just ask below and I will make sure to answer all of those questions on the next week's video. So yeah, and then I'm going to kind of treat it like a vlog in a way because I really am talking to myself. I know you guys are watching it, but it's hard sometimes because you're like, I'm talking to myself. But this also will be just a fun way to interact with you guys until I'm able to live stream and all that, and just so you guys can get to know me. So while we chit chat, we are going to work on this page I'm doing in Gnomes in the Neighborhood. This was on my Amazon wish list for a long time, but I was kind of hesitant about buying it. They only show like 4 images for preview on Amazon, and the 4 they picked weren't very good, I guess. So I wasn't like blown away and ready to buy that thing. So I took a chance and bought it because I had seen someone else on their 10 books to finish tag and it was really cute. So I bought it, and oh my gosh, I'm so mad that this sat on my wish list for so long because it is freaking adorable. I'm not gonna sit here and flip through it, but yeah, love it. Love it. And they have now, I found that there's a fairies one and something else. I think it's mermaids. I don't know. If you guys own those ones, let me know if they're as equally cute because I will buy them. So I'm working on this page here. Now, last night on Instagram, I think I had posted like this hat in this part, and I had actually filmed part of my color and chat and it didn't work out. So I had to start over. So a lot of this got done on the color and chat that no one will see. But we are using Prismacolors today. I have a whole palette picked out. I know. One of my resolutions was to use mediums or other pencil brands, you know, branch out. But gosh darn it, it's my new book and I really wanted to use Prismacolors, and I just restocked from Blick Arts. Can you blame me? I've got tons of them to use up. So let's do some coloring and some chatting. I'm going to work more on the vines and leaves. I'm using one of my favorite green combos. My gosh, these pencils are so small. So this one is Olive Green PC911, Kelly Green PC1096, and Pale Sage PC1089. I will be sharpening a lot because I'm one of those people that just need a sharp point. But yeah, I'm using that to just do all of these pretty little vines here. Okay, so for this first official color along, I thought it would be good to do a get to know me kind of thing. And any questions you have that I didn't answer about myself after, totally ask in the comments below. But the first thing I'm going to start with is my name. I was tagged in a video last week before, and I realized nobody knew my real name, and so I took a look at my bios and I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't have my name on there. So I go by Kori, and it's spelled the girl way, Kori. My real name is actually longer than that. My family's Danish, and they've got a thing about middle names. So instead of middle names, you have a long first name. I don't know what's up with that, but it's just a thing. So my shortened version and what I've gone by since I was old enough to say, stop calling me that, is Kori. So you can all refer to me as Kori. And I am so sorry that I have never said what my name is. I even thought back, wow, didn't I say what my name was in a video? Nope, I never have. So nice to meet you all. And now that we know my name, that may make it a lot easier. But yes, I have been on YouTube not a year yet. My channelversary, as I like to call it, is January 11th. Which is easy to remember because my birthday is January 10th. I actually started this channel the day after my birthday. I had been kind of like thinking about it because I'd share like my work with family and friends, and they'd say, oh, you know, you should really start a YouTube and, you know, do coloring tutorials. So I did my first tutorial January 11th. Oh my gosh, it's not very good, but it's very noobish. I didn't know how to edit videos. I'm pretty sure I said the word like 500 times. I still do that now. I'm more cautious of it, I guess, but or I say but anyway. That was my first video. It was how to color gold with Prismacolors. And a funny thing, I got tagged by someone a couple weeks ago on Instagram. They had used that tutorial to color gold and thanked me for it. And it was so awesome because it was like my first one. Not very good video editing whatsoever, but it still helped someone. So I was like, oh my gosh, okay, I accomplished my goal. So yes, I will be hitting a year on YouTube next week, and also becoming a year older. And how old am I? Well, I'm not going to tell you my real age, but I will tell you that I have told my children I'm 25, and I've been 25 since my son was old enough to ask. So that's about 10 years now. Haven't aged a bit. But yes, I am looking forward to this very new year. I had started my YouTube channel last year with the same intention. I was like, you know what? 2020, I'm going to take the world by storm. I'm going to start a YouTube channel. Oh, hi, COVID. That's where that went. So let me sharpen these real fast. My Doll 133 sharpener. Yes, I'm sorry. You're going to hear me sharpen a lot through this color and chat, and I apologize. But I need sharp points. FYI, you don't have to have a sharp point with a Prismacolor. I just have to have a sharp point. So it's not like some technical thing where you must do it. And if someone tells you that, then just ignore them. But alright, so like I said, for this one, I wanted to kind of do a get to know me thing. So you now know my name. I live in the glorious state of Utah. Glorious, by the way. I was born and raised in California. I moved to Utah for school. And I was actually planning to move back to Southern California, but I met my husband. So my husband is the reason I am still here. I blame him. In all honesty, I couldn't afford to move back to California at this point in the economy. California prices, oh my, no thanks. There's actually Californians coming here and buying houses here because they're like, oh my gosh, they're so cheap. So yeah, Utah is an awesome state. Tons of stuff to do if you're outdoorsy. I just am not that outdoorsy person, so this is not the state for me at all. Like the whole COVID staying at home thing, oh my gosh, so up my alley. I was prepared. I joked with everyone that I prepared my entire life for this moment. I work from home. I stay home. Family can't ever get me to leave. I mean, I leave the house. I'm not a hermit or anything, but it took some effort. Like, it had to be a real good reason. Like, my son had a baseball game, daughter had a soccer game. Yep, I'll leave the house. But other than that, it took some effort. But yeah, so when they, like, did the whole quarantine thing, it was like a big joke. So I'm like, I have prepared my entire life for this, and I am ready to do it. My family, however, was not. But I have 4 children, and they are all super adorable, and all 4 years apart in age, except my oldest, that's 6 years apart. It's just a nice span. And my husband, my lovely, very supportive husband of my coloring, he lets me sit here and color and tells the whole house to be quiet. We have been married, we'll have our 10-year wedding anniversary this year, but we've been together for 12 years. So it's crazy to think about that much time has gone by. We didn't do anything for our anniversary in 2020 because, well, what were we going to do? Go sit at a restaurant with a mask on? Woohoo! So we didn't do anything. Hopeful this year we can, especially because it's a 10-year. It's kind of one of those big ones that you should celebrate. But my husband is a firefighter, and so he is one of those first responders dealing with the fun of COVID. And honestly, for him, it's just another day in the park kind of thing. Like, I mean, they have different protocols and stuff, obviously, and wearing like hazmat gear to go into people's houses type of thing, but really it's not too crazy, other than now they have to deal with COVID patients and all that fun. But yes, and oh, I totally forgot that I have a fur baby. We have a, now this month she's turning 10 months, 10-month-old Siberian Husky. So during like the whole COVID quarantine, I was like, you know what, we should really get a dog. This is not the first dog we've owned. We actually bought our kids one in 2019 for Christmas, but the deal was they had to help take care of the dog. No one did, so we had to get rid of the dog. Yes, I am that mean parent. I felt bad. It was worse when my kids would tell like their friends and their friends' parents, because they'd look at me like I was some evil witch. But I had a rule, like, if, you know, we have a dog, everyone has to help with the dog. I'm not going to take care of the dog by myself. So with all of us stuck at home, I thought, what better time to teach them responsibility than get a dog? So we found a Siberian Husky, which I had never in my life thought I would own. I always wanted golden retrievers. I just love them. I used to own them. But for some reason, I was just drawn to this Siberian Husky puppy with her very blue, gorgeous eyes, and she's black and white. And we got her, and oh my gosh, I mean, okay, Huskies are a lot of work. If you're a Husky owner, then you know what I'm talking about. But they are beautiful, hilarious dogs. Like, just YouTube Husky videos, and it's for real. Like, these people aren't making it up, and their Husky is not unique. All Huskies do it. Like the Husky temper tantrums. Please go YouTube some of those. Yeah, my dog does those. It's hilarious. My dog doesn't go cry in the bathtub like there's one popular one on YouTube, but she does similar stuff. Example, We have a rule. She has to sit and stay, and then we put her food bowl down, and she is not allowed to get up and eat until we release her. And it's really important with Huskies that you do that, because Huskies are highly intelligent dogs. And by that I mean most breeds are intelligent, but Huskies have this heightened level where they can actually decide if they want to do it or not. Most breeds are like a yes or no. Huskies will actually sit there and think, you know what? I'm not really hungry, so I'm just not going to listen to her because I don't care if I get fed right now. Like, that's their thinking process. So Huskies require a ton of training and a lot of work, like kind of teaching them that you are the dominating figure. So we make her sit, and she must stay, and she must stay till she's released to get her any of her food. So this morning I told her to sit and stay, and I got a text and for work, and so I went to go take care of it, and I forgot to tell her she could go eat. So my daughter goes downstairs, and the dog is still sitting there, and she starts like barking at my daughter and kind of whimpering and like nosing at the food, like pointing with her nose, because she's like 6 feet away from the bowl. And so my daughter goes, oh, okay, go eat. And so then the dog goes and eats, and I was laughing because the dog was smart enough to know, like, she was sitting there, but it was kind of like when my daughter came down, it was as if she was going, hey, can I go eat this? Like, I don't know what happened to Mom. But she's also, like, come and tattled on my husband to me. No joke. He got her ready for a run, and then he got sidetracked, and so she came and found me all the way upstairs and was barking at me, and then, like antsy, like going towards the door, and then barking at me, and then going towards the door. So basically telling me she wanted me to follow her, and I did. And we go down to my husband's man cave, and she starts barking and like nosing at him, and so basically she was tattling on him that he didn't take her for her run. But I don't know, if you've ever owned a Husky, you know what I mean. I can never buy a different breed of dog now. I'm ruined for life because it's freaking hilarious. Now, they do require tons of training and tons of exercise. As adult dogs, they actually need up to 2 hours a day of exercise. And God bless my husband who likes to go jogging, because he's on that. They go for like 5 and 7 mile jogs at night. By the way, doesn't even faze her. She could keep going. Like, she'll literally be hyper and come home and be like, all right, are we done? Yeah, I'd be dead. But doesn't even faze her. And she's 10 months, so I don't know what's going to happen at 12, but Huskies are hilarious. And so we have her. So anytime someone asks me how many kids I have, I add the dog and my husband to the mix. So I have a lot of kids, because I feel like I'm the only adult in this household. And if my husband's actually watching this, he's probably agreeing, so it's all good. But yes, we all live out here in lovely Utah. I work for a writing agency. I used to be a freelance writer, and one day, just out of luck, I had emailed one of my clients asking if they had something non-writing, because I had kind of burned out on writing, and she had this position open, and I took it. And basically I manage her whole company of writers and editors, and it's perfect for my personality. I'm a very type A personality, very organized. I'm a to-do list junkie. I love to-do lists. I get so excited checking off anything on a to-do list. Any of you like that, or am I the only one? I'm no joke. I get giddy. Like, love it. So I buy those planners with extra spaces for to-do lists. Yeah, I'm that person. But it's fun. I've been able to work from home. It is a busy job. It keeps me pretty busy. So adding in like my coloring channel took a little time to kind of find my groove. It's been easier with COVID because the kids don't have their sports and they're homeschooling right now. I don't know what it'll be like when sports come back. Sports did come back, we just didn't enroll them because I didn't know how it was going to go. Same thing with school. The schools are open here, but I didn't want my kids to do like the ping pong of, oh, someone was tested positive, the whole class has to quarantine for 2 weeks, and going from online to in person. I didn't want to play that game. So I work from home anyway. It wasn't a big deal for me. I have a lot of friends who like couldn't do that because, you know, they have to leave the house to work. So I'm curious how many of you are homeschooling. And by the way, this is a no judgment zone. Like, I do not care if you sent your kids home or if you homeschooled them. Like, I know it's become a political thing, but please, please, I am not judging. I really don't care. I'm just curious how many people did keep their kids home versus sent them to school. You gotta do what works for you. It's kind of my mindset. And for those of you who actually just homeschool in general, not because of COVID, but you just always have, hats off to you. I don't know how you do it. Yeah, I'm hoping the vaccine turns around and next school year they will be on that bus at 8:05 and I will be skipping my way back to my house. So I love my kids, but yeah, it's kind of like in the summer. The first couple weeks are great, and then, you know, they fight and bicker and tattle and oh man. And then on top of it, you're teaching them. And I've done pretty well. I struggle with the Common Core math. What is up with that? Why is this a thing? So it's been a struggle, but my son is very, very smart. He's in 6th grade, very bright kid. He's always been off the charts on any, like, you know, school testing. At the beginning of the year, when they do that standardized test, he actually tests for the grade ahead of him. Like, so he's already hit the benchmark that he should have at the end of that grade. So he's way above. And I was worried with homeschooling, like, that would make him fall behind, but he's done fine. So luckily I have him to help with my 3rd grader because I can't do her Common Core math to save my life. But when he does have a struggle with math, it's pretty rough. I sucked at math in general, and now with Common Core on top of it, I am like the world's worst person to ask a math question to. He had to divide fractions, and I was like, oh yeah, I remember that from school. Guys, I did not remember it from school. I knew something about how you had to flip them and multiply them. It was a hot mess. So God bless Google. But yeah, it's overall it hasn't been too bad. It's just I'm also homeschooling my youngest, who would be in preschool right now. And that was the one, at first, I was like, oh, this is going to be easy peasy. I mean, it's preschool, you know, ABCs, 1, 2, 3s. It's not. You are literally teaching them the foundations of everything. That is a lot more pressure than you realize, because when I say ABC, she doesn't know what ABC is. I do, you do, my 2nd grader or 3rd grader does, but that's because they learned that in preschool. So it was nuts when I realized, oh my gosh, I'm literally teaching her like the foundations of everything. So it's been quite the struggle, and that one's actually been one of the harder ones, teaching her how to recognize words and read. We're getting on a roll though. We're getting there. But that is the one that's actually been the hardest, believe it or not, despite the math. Yeah, my son's math. I just had my husband handle it. Luckily, you know, him being a firefighter, they actually use math in their job. Yes, they don't just point hoses at flames, although they do that a lot. But there's a lot of math actually involved in pointing that hose at a flame. My husband once was telling me like all the calibrations and science that they have to do behind like hooking up a fire truck to a hydrant and these pumps and mechanics. Oh my gosh, guys, it's insane. The back of a fire truck, you should have a fireman explain it to you. It's a lot more than the movies show where they hook it to the fire hydrant and just let it rip. None of that applies. There's all this science behind it. You can actually like blow a motor on a truck if you do it wrong. It's nuts. So luckily he uses math all the time and he can help with the math. But yes, I am looking forward to next year and them going back. They need it too for socializing. We've been very hardcore social distancing, and that is only because Utah has had some outrageous spikes, because I think we live in the land of people going whatever and suffering COVID fatigue, as they call it. And our numbers have been pretty high, and I just feel like if I can at least limit what I cause, then I can feel better about it. At least that's how I've viewed it. My husband is on the same page. And so that's kind of, our kids haven't played with other kids since March, and we've been pretty strict about that. Honestly, like, there was times we almost budged, but then we didn't, and we've just stuck to our guns. But I'm looking forward to, hopefully once the vaccine and all that goes through, they can actually go play, because oh my god, it would be awesome for them to get out of the house. But I know they miss their friends, and kids need socializing. You know, talking to me only does so much, and we definitely don't talk about the same things. My son talks about Star Wars, and he was getting into all like the history of Star Wars, and I sat there with like, it was like teaching physics to me. My brain was just not absorbing anything. It was crazy. I like Star Wars. We're watching The Mandalorian, but he knew like all the history because he's seen all the movies and I haven't. So, yeah. But the vaccine thing, I mean, they said probably won't even make things normal till summer, hopefully. And each time I watch the news, they push that date out. So, I'm like, when is this? My husband's a first responder, and he hasn't gotten a vaccine yet. They were told probably end of February. So that's kind of nuts to think about. That's quite a ways to go. Okay, sharpening time. So yes, let's see. Oh, for coloring. So someone asked me what got me into adult coloring. I have been coloring for 5 years now, about 5 years. And, you know, I know a lot of people got into adult coloring for like anxiety and stress relief. And that, it has actually helped me with that, because I do suffer from anxiety, which we will rant about another day. But that's not what got me into it. Surprisingly enough, I was pregnant with my youngest, and I was going to have a C-section with her. And so I was going to be in the hospital for a few days. And I hate hospitals. Like, they give me the EBGBs. I have OCD and severe anxiety, and that doesn't mix well with the hospital environment. And it messes up my routine, causes all sorts, craziness. And I was nervous because I was going to have a C-section. Never had one of those before. If you've had one of those, I'm so sorry. But I know I'd be in the hospital a few days. I didn't want to just like watch movies and TV. I'd done that with my other kids for the 3 days I was there, and this time I was going to be there between 5 and 7 days. So I kind of was looking for things to do, And at first I thought, you know, maybe I'll just read a bunch of books, but then I was like, I'm going to be on a ton of painkillers. I don't know if reading's like the best thing. And so I had been kind of toying with the idea of adult coloring, and so I decided I would try it. So I ordered a really cheap set of 150 pencils. I mean, I think I'll even go back and see if I can find the order on Amazon from years ago. I don't know how far back their history does, but if I find it, I'll post like a quick picture of it for you guys to kind of see. Super cheap, crappy pencils. I'm positive they're not even sold anymore. But I bought that, and then this book called Color Me Cluttered, I think is what it was. It's basically like cluttered spaces, but it looked fun. And what's funny is it was busy and fun to color, but like I can't handle Kirby Roseanne's books to save my life. But back then my coloring was like a dark color for an outline and a lighter color coloring in, like uber basic elementary school level coloring. So the busy pages weren't daunting back then, they were exciting. Now with all the shading and stuff, those busy pages give me a freaking panic attack. So I'm like, oh my gosh. So I bought that book and The Secret Garden by Johanna Basford. And I took those to the hospital, and I ended up using them quite a bit. I had a lot of downtime. You know, the baby would go to the nursery, or she would be in there, but my husband was there with me the whole time. So I got a lot of coloring done, and I found that it really relaxed me. Well, that or the fact that I was on Percocet. Not totally sure. I'll be honest. They had me on a lot of drugs. But I was relaxed no matter what. And then when we got home, my house is multiple stories. And with a C-section, if you've had one, you most definitely know that the last thing you should be doing is climbing a flight of stairs. And if you do, oh my God. Yeah. So my doctor had actually said I needed to avoid the stairs. So I was basically going to be confined to our master bedroom, which is on the 3rd floor of our house, until my incision had healed enough to where I could safely move around. So knowing that and how much fun I had at the hospital with my adult coloring books, I ordered a few more from Amazon. And I had also ordered Marco Raffines. They were kind of like the upgrade pencil at the time. I couldn't afford Prismacolors, and I didn't know a lot about Prismacolors, and I wasn't very serious about it. You know, this was more just pass the time while I'm locked in my, felt like Rapunzel, locked in a tower, only I definitely didn't have long hair, and definitely was no princess, and I definitely did not look good. But it was a great way to pass the time, because, I mean, you can only watch so much TV. I had a C-section incision that would not heal. I was up in my master bedroom for like almost 4 weeks. I had 2 friends who were RNs that would come visit and help, and God bless them, like help get me through all of it. But yeah, it would not heal, so I did a lot of coloring. One day I should flip through and like kind of show you like how I used to color versus now. But I was trying to learn how to color, and I'd watch YouTube, but back then there wasn't a lot of coloring channels. It was art channels. So for leaves, I wanted to know how to color leaves, so I'd watch an artist draw one and color it in with colored pencils, and they were usually using Prismacolor. I would find a similar color in Marco Raffine and use that technique. And that's kind of how it was all born, to be honest. I mean, I spent 4 weeks coloring and really started to love it. And then I kept with it. It became a hobby. And like I said, I was sharing it with family and friends. And then someone said, you should try making a YouTube. So I did that last year on January 11th. And then I just hadn't posted a lot of content because I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with it. I hadn't really found my path, I guess. but I finally kind of got into the groove, and here we are today. I would say this summer is when I started to really post a lot more videos, but I've been coloring, yeah, for 5 years now, and only this year did I really start trying new pencils. I mainly did just Prismacolor and polys. And the funniest thing is, when I first got Prismas, those were so expensive to me. Like, I was nervous about them. I really wanted them for a birthday present from my husband. Excuse me. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so much money. Yeah. Oh man, those are like so cheap now compared to the ones I've bought. I mean, now I look at Prismacolor and I see them for like 95 bucks on Amazon. And I'm like, oh, is that all? You know, because I bought Holbein's, Luminance, Derwent Lightfast. Even the polychromos were, you know, more expensive. Those were a splurge, but yeah, it's funny because those were expensive to me. And then first time I used Prismacolors, I hated them. I had gotten used to my Marco Raffines, which now my daughter has. And I thought Prismas were awful. I was like, these things are crap. I can't color with these. They're like a crayon, but not. And it was really frustrating. And you know, I have to give credit to Julie's passion for coloring. I started watching her tutorials and started kind of figuring out the Prismacolors and how you should be using them. And that forever changed me, and it's now my favorite pencil. I know a lot of people have like their love-hate with these, especially because of the manufacturing oopsies they've had over the years and still do sometimes. But no matter what I buy, I still come back to these Prismacolors. I love them. I'm so used to them. It's just natural to use them. I just see color combos instantly in my head when I look at a picture. I'm like, oh, I could use this, this, and this from, you know, my Prismas. Whereas other brands, I'm like, oh, where's my swatch chart? So it's just funny that my now favorite pencil was one that I hated using. And it was awful too, because my husband spent all that money and I'm like, I hate these things. But I still love these things to this day. They are my go-to. They're like my security blanket. If I'm struggling, I break these out to color with, just because I know I can work with them. But that's why one of my resolutions was to use my others, because I think I can get to that point with my others if I actually just use them. Crazy enough to think, right? That's a tiny, tiny line. There we go. So while I've been ranting over here and raving, I don't know if you noticed, but I'm just doing a 3-color blend using the 3 I had talked about. And I basically just put down my dark one for my shadows, go over it lightly with my medium, and then Pale Sage is my highlight. But this whole color and chat has pretty much been me doing leaves, greenery. Tell you what, we'll do a flower or something so it breaks it up. So for my flowers, I have quite a few here, so bear with me. Dark purple 931. Wait, is that one dark purple? Yeah, dark purple. Dahlia purple PC 1009. Mulberry PC 995, Process Red PC 994, and Blush Pink PC 928. Now, these flowers are itty bitty. I don't actually use all of those on every flower. I kind of change them up. Excuse me. I change up the order a lot. So on these bigger flowers, though, I might actually use all 5. But we'll color a couple. Yeah, so that is how I got into coloring. That is how my channel started. It was just someone saying, hey, start one. And I'm like, okay. But I have enjoyed it. I really, like I said, I didn't really dive full in till this summer, but I'm so glad I did. I have met a lot of very cool people. The coloring community in general is fun. I'm not big on the Facebook groups, and I'm so sorry because I know some of you are in my Facebook group, and I feel bad because you're probably feeling neglected. I'm not a Facebooker. I never really have been, but I do a lot of Instagram. But YouTube-wise, I have met a lot of great people. I love watching everyone's channels, watching them color. I still do color alongs like with other people because everyone has a technique or something new to learn. You know, I'll buy a new pencil and I'm not sure how to use it right, so I'll watch someone's color along and do it with them. I still watch people's Prismacolor ones too because there's always room to grow. But I just love supporting other colorists too. There's some out there that are so sweet. Like, they take the time to write the sweetest comments. And I've made some really good friends the past few months, and I'm really looking forward to this year. I think everyone is, but in terms of friendships, because I'm really enjoying the community. And so anyone watching this, I really appreciate, one, you watching it and supporting me, but two, just anytime you guys leave comments, I love it. I read and reply to every single comment, so if you leave one, don't think I'm going to ignore you or press the generic answer button. I actually read it and I reply because I think it's great if someone leaves comments and just takes the time to even do that. So never be shy about commenting on my videos, please. See, so I just used a mixture. I probably should have told you what colors, but like I said, it's a color in chat, not a color along. But I'm just taking those, what is it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 colors, and some will be darker because I use just the darker tones, where others will be lighter, kind of thing. The branches, I haven't quite decided what I'm doing with those. But yeah, I'm looking forward to adding more content this year. So these little vlogs will be every Wednesday, a fun little color and chat. Today I just kind of wanted to focus on my background a little, let you know who I am, what I'm up to, what I do, why I'm even here. Then the rest will be kind of like a, you know, what I do this week and answering questions, like I said. So remember to pop a question below if you want an answer. But I think we'll do this flower and then call it good because I've been up here for 40 minutes. And by the way, this is like my third take. I keep messing it up. So I just told myself, all right, I'm doing this one, and whatever comes out is what's staying out. So hopefully this is good. You guys enjoy this. Please, please let me know if you guys enjoy this. I want to have fun with the, you know, the people that watch and interact with you guys, which is why I say ask a question, leave a comment. I can answer it on the next one because I am going to do these every week. Even if I really am just talking to myself, I'm going to do them. I'm going to stick with it. But also it's good because you can see different books, mediums. I'll share my color combos and just kind of things like that, and get to know me and get some suggestions from you guys. And you can put this on in the background while you're doing something. I like to listen to these while I'm jogging on my treadmill. Okay, not really jogging, power walking on my treadmill. But I like to do that, or if I'm coloring myself, I just like to listen and see what people are up to. I really enjoy their color and chats. I might not be a color along with them, but it's just fun to like learn about all the people behind the artwork that I'm following. So here we are today. We did a ton of greenery. Well, I did a lot of this on my multiple takes that were failures, but we did a ton of greenery. So I'll share this combo in next week's because I'll actually be coloring her dress. And I think this is going to be a cute page. I'm not sure on the trees yet. I might use my Dermot not Light Fast, Inktense maybe, because I want to do this very light look. And then the background, I am leaning towards some purples and blues, but I want to finish it first and see where it goes from there. But thank you guys for joining me and taking time out of your day to do a WIP Wednesday color and chat. Again, definitely leave a question in the comments below or a topic you want me to cover. Just nothing controversial, please. Like, don't say, do you like Trump or Biden? Because I don't want to get in no. So, safe questions only, please. And then, you know, if you have any questions about something I did on here, I can answer your comment, but I'll also address it. I'll make a list and address it in the next color and chat. But yes, thank you guys for taking time out of your day to watch this. And I will be still working on this, you know, and hopefully we'll have some more done to show you guys. I may end up finishing this before next week. And if I do, no biggie, because I'll just show you on Instagram. And I'll even share my color combos on Instagram to make sure you guys see those. I keep meaning to take photos of these next to it, so I'll start doing that as well. And who knows, I might be onto something else next week. But thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, take care.